launched the strongest telescope in history into space. James Webb was designed to unveil the secrets of galaxies drifting rapidly away. Anyway, can see the most mysterious galaxy in the night sky with the naked eye as it is currently heading directly towards us. The Andromeda Galaxy has baffled scientists more than once and continues to pose many challenges to them. In this video, we will discover how this entire galaxy was formed millions of times larger, and why are there incredibly astonishing black holes there, yet you cannot see a single planet. What are the mysteries of the Andromeda Galaxy that still perplex scientists? How it managed to fool many astronomers, including the Hubble telescope. In the 10th century, the Persian scholar Abd al Rahman al-Sufi became the first to describe this galaxy as a patch of light. He was sure he had seen a space cloud. The German astronomer Simon Marius observed in the 17th century a strange glow coming from the Andromeda Galaxy. It is like a candle shining through a horn. All these bizarre metaphors proved that astronomers had no idea what they were looking at. The Rastani. William concluded in the late 18th century, it was found that the Andromeda Galaxy was closer to the Earth's nebula, and it consists of gas and dust through which bright stars have managed to shine, meaning the galaxy was relatively small. Its diameter is only a few tens of light years. The scientists were professionally deceived. Only a century ago, they were certain that our entire universe consisted solely of the Milky Way, in addition to some of the small nebulae surrounding it. In 1929, American astronomer Harlow Shapley bravely risked his reputation when he clashed with self-assured during the great debate between them. Hubble had the courage to say that the Andromeda Galaxy is a separate galaxy located 500,000 light-years away. The majority of scientists held their ground, outright rejecting the belief that the Milky Way was all there is to have no neighboring galaxies in the universe. And it was only the ruler Edwin Hubble, the only one who defeated them in 1925 finally, with the help of the most advanced telescope. At that time, where Cepheid variable stars were discovered, changing brightness in the Andromeda Galaxy, and he calculated the distance between them because its brightness was known accurately, about 1 million light-years. Despite this, it was later revealed that even the Hubble telescope, its obscuration by Andromeda, was unknown to the researcher that Cepheids are different types of stars. In fact, the distance between us and other galaxies is estimated to be about 3 times greater, about 2.5 million light-years. Since the moment it showed us its true colors, it made our universe bigger and wider by thousands of times. This galaxy has baffled us with many other secrets, and Andromeda has never stopped undermining everything we know about galaxies. And the first detailed picture, taken in the late 19th century, revealed a spiral structure. It has large gaps between its arms. That was when astronomers realized that the Milky Way, as seen from the inside, is not a solid stellar disk by any means, but it's a similar spiral vortex. And then, the Andromeda constellation presented a new mystery when American astronomer Vera Rubin began exploring the galaxy in the early 70s. It has already been proven that the disk of the galaxy is several times wider than the Milky Way and has a diameter of 220 light-years. Robert predicted that looking at this size, the stars at the edge of the disk will orbit the galaxy's core very slowly. But the shadow was a matter. It was racing around it just like racing cars on a track. Andromeda was supposed to have exploded into pieces in this dangerous game long ago. Robin realized the only thing that could explain this paradox is that Yes, it's a giant cloud filled with some invisible material that prevents the galaxy from splitting apart. This is how astronomers discovered the mass of huge, dark galactic halos. It is still unclear what exactly galactic halos are made of. But thanks to Andromeda, scientists created a realistic simulation showing how galaxies move and evolve. Then they encountered another problem in most simulations. We can see hundreds of satellite dwarf galaxies appearing around any major galaxy. But in reality, there are only dozens of them. Where is the rest of Hayatora? Only in 2022, it was discovered. The Italian amateur astronomer Giuseppe Donatello suddenly discovered a very faint galaxy named Pegasus 5, not far from the serialized woman's disk, and their vision was very poor because most of the stars in these galaxies are very old dwarfs. Picasso 5 formed 12.5 billion years ago. Dwarf galaxies usually don't live long as they are devoured by larger neighboring galaxies. Because the accompanying Pegasus 5 galaxy of Andromeda is an invaluable artifact. From the beginning of the universe's creation, we now know that most dwarf galaxies might be hiding right under our noses and ears. This means that the simulations created by scientists are accurate. One of them showed something extraordinary. As whatever we do in 3 billion years, the serialized woman will collide with the Milky Way Galaxy at an immense speed. Fortunately, the stars in both galaxies are very scattered. It is unlikely to collide. The stimate fu asabsia elasa. But that is not the main reason for concern. It worried the scientists. Other bodies existing here. The black holes in Andromeda are more perplexing than anything else. Look at this picture taken by the Hubble Space Telescope. You can see the core of the Milky Way, surrounded by stars. This is where the light beast hides. The wandering black hole named Sagittarius keeps moving. The Arcturus body, more than 4 billion solar masses, maintaining all the neighboring stars in the galaxy's core. Hubble was supposed to find something like this in the center of the Whirlpool Galaxy, but instead, we've found a new puzzle. Hubble captured a double nucleus, and it's clearly not coalesced, where it was found that the dim right side is a massive black hole, weighing about 200 million solar masses. But what is this thing on the left? Initially, astronomers believed it was just a star cluster wandering in the core of the Andromeda Galaxy, now orbiting around the worst black hole. There is something behind here, where its immense gravity scattered all those stars in space long ago. The only thing capable of keeping it in place, another black hole, meaning the serial woman Andromeda has a very rare double core made of a Sugi hole, formed after the community's collision.
I lived between another living.
Here is another contradiction. According to simulation systems, black holes should look completely different from what Hubble captured with its camera.
This puzzle has defeated
Around
him.
the double-barreled serial woman's core scientists have been for decades. Then indeed, this rebellious galaxy finally showed a bit of compliance. Astronomers have given a glimmer of hope to one of the most enigmatic paradoxes of black holes. Researchers found many black holes whose mass does not exceed 100 solar masses, whereas scientists have also found many supermassive black holes, with their mass equating to millions of solar masses. These are two contradictory sides, and it seems there's nothing that connects them. And the question of why we never find medium-mass black holes has been driving scientists mad for years, because it's completely unclear how super bookworms appear. Astronomers sometimes spot objects that could be intermediate-mass black holes here and there. But in most cases, these are just pure assumptions. And things continued this way until the year 2022, when researchers finally discovered something unique in one of the globular clusters of the Andromeda Galaxy, where a stellar orbit is clearly indicated into a black hole 100,000 times the mass of the Sun. So these objects are far away, hidden in many other clusters, including those behind Andromeda, especially since heavy mass black holes are like that. It has sizes that are somewhat moderate compared to gas giants like Jupiter. But this leads us to the biggest and final mystery in the series of the Woman's Galaxy. Why have all attempts to discover at least one planet outside the solar system failed so far? So far, more than 5,000 exoplanets have been discovered, all of which are inside the Milky Way Galaxy. And we equipped the Hubble Space Telescope with a fantastic panoramic shot of Andromeda in great detail. But exoplanet hunters are not satisfied. The galaxy is too far from us to see how exoplanets consistently affect it. My action on specific stars. Yet, in the year 1999, we were incredibly lucky, and one of the stars of the Andromeda Galaxy passed directly in front of another star. It wouldn't move on its own. Astronomers believe that the second star might have a gas giant 6 times heavier than Jupiter. And if that's the case, it would be the first exoplanet to be discovered outside the Milky Way Galaxy. And the bad news is that this effect could also result from a minor distortion of the statement. And we have no chance to verify this because it will not line up perfectly again. But we should not blame the absence of visible exoplanets to the naked eye solely on the shortcomings of our observatories, but in fact, that trillions of stars in that galaxy almost contain no exoplanets orbiting them. It seems insane so far, because with many of them in the Milky Way, it's natural that other galaxies wouldn't be exceptions to this. However, in 1885, the Irish astronomer Isaac Ward witnessed a supernova near the woman's serial latitudes, indicating there must be enough material for exoplanets. Anyway, this supernova remains the only one observed by humans in the Andromeda Galaxy. There are dozens of them in the Milky Way Galaxy. Could our neighbor be governed by some mysterious forces that prevent exoplanets from appearing, or even destroy it? Considering the galaxy is approaching us at a high speed, and it wouldn't hurt to know what's wrong with it in advance. Well, perhaps the well-equipped James Webb Space Telescope can track distant exoplanets. Maybe he can get rid of the curse of planets experienced by the serialized woman Andromeda. Either that, we must wait a few billion years until the Andromeda Galaxy, which is approaching half the sky, takes over, where ordinary telescopes are located. Upon seeing it, but even when some of its secrets are unveiled, our neighbor Andromeda will have the last harsh joke on us. When the Milky Way collides with Andromeda, we'll have the chance to see a stunningly bright object appear in space, which will continue for billions of years. And since we barely see distant galaxies now, those blinding glows can make it utterly impossible for scientists observing most of the universe. And when some civilizations begin studying space in this era, you'll be sure that the super elliptical galaxy comprising the Milky Way and Andromeda in the only existing world, and no one will convince them otherwise.